Real Estate Investing Profits presents Profit Masters with your host, world-renowned real estate coach and investor, Corey Boatwright. Now, strap in and get ready to learn elite wealth-building investment strategies taught by 6- and 7-figure house flipping masters as they reveal their best real estate investing profit secrets to you right now.
What is going on? This is Corey Boatwright. I am your host of Real Estate Investing Profits, Profit Master podcast series, and also your founder of Real Estate Investing Profits.com. Have you went and got your Ultimate Real Estate Investing Quick Start Guide, the down and dirty Ultimate Real Estate Investing Quick Start Guide? Have you? If not, text the word profit 38470. Text the word profit to 38470 and get it right now. It'll be instantly, automatically sent to your cell phone. All right. So today I have a very good friend of mine, and this guy is a rock star real estate investor out of New York, another New Yorker. Yeah. And he is knocking down six-figure wholesaling fees, okay? Six-figure wholesaling fees, which, to give you an idea, here in Oklahoma, often we'll get maybe a $10,000 to $15,000 under. Occasionally, we'll get a $20,000 to $30,000 wholesaling fee, but it's rare, right? So basically, he's doing one deal and doing about the same that we're able to do in Oklahoma for 8 or 9 deals. This guy's name is Billy Alvaro, okay? And he is someone that you're going to want to pay attention to, what he's doing. He really goes over some good tips on this podcast, and the guy is just solid. You're not going to believe some of the things that he's been through. His story is going to inspire you, but it's also going to teach you a few things and the tools that he's using as well. So make sure that you're strapped in on this podcast because you're going to absolutely dig it. Again, make sure that you listen to our next podcast as well, as we're bringing in incredible guests onto the show, where I'm stepping up the game further and further as much as I possibly can, getting some of the people that you actually are requesting to be on the podcast. So make sure that you go to realestateinvesting.com, and at the very top, you can go ahead and put in your suggestions on who you want on the podcast. I also want to mention something too, that if you're interested in taking your real estate game to the next level, we're offering some coaching opportunities. We do these strategy sessions, okay? It's a little bit different than what you might hear from other maybe strategy sessions that I think are out there right now. But what we're doing is we're spending time with you and going over a plan that can actually show you how to go from A to B, where you are right now to where you want to go, and the steps necessary to get there. And if we're not a good fit, I'll let you know. But I'm telling you, we've got some great folks that we've worked with that are just doing some amazing things. So if you're a good fit, we'd love to talk with you more. So make sure you go to realestateinvesting.com/podcast. At the very top, you'll see a link up there. It says coaching. Okay, that's it. So pay attention, because this podcast is going to be incredible with Billy Alvaro.
Billy Alvaro. Am I saying it? I always say it wrong. Am I saying it right?
Alvaro.
Billy,
AKA New York.
A New Yorker. New York. That's right. That's actually what we should call you. Just call you New York. What's up, Billy?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. You're in what part of New York?
I'm in Long Island, New York. Right now I'm sitting at my office in Holbrook, Long Island, in the middle, about 15, 20 minutes away from the Hamptons.
Nice, dude. So is it cold there? I heard it's pretty cold there right now, right?
Bro, we had, it was snowing yesterday, and it's spring.
Yeah.
This is not right. 28 degrees yesterday morning. I'm out trying to work out. My car door was all jammed up and frozen solid. Not good. Not good for April.
Not good for April.
At all.
Does that mean it's just going to be cold most of the year, or what? What do you think?
And I'm hoping not, bro. I need summer. I need some hot weather. If I'm not skiing, I want to be in the sun,
Right. I can hear the accent, dude. Have you always lived in New York?
My whole life. Well, I was down in Florida for about 6 years.
Yeah.
I went down there when I was a kid, moved down there, and then I moved back up to New York.
Gotcha. Well, thanks for taking the time to be on here. I'm super pumped about you being on here. You and I've had a lot of discussions. Met again at the greatest real estate mastermind around called Collective Genius. And our good buddy Jason Medley runs that. And basically, I remember when you came in and things that you were doing in New York, and you're talking about things were going on. And now there's so much success you're having, and I'm excited to talk about that. But I want to kind of hear a little bit of the story. And I think that's what most people like to kind of hear, is kind of talk about a little bit of the story of where you've been and kind of where you're going now. But I ask kind of the same questions to most of the guests that come on here, because it helps stay on a good path on the things not to miss that I think are real important. So why don't you take us from what area of expertise in real estate are you focusing on right now, and how did you get involved in real estate investing?
Okay, so good question. So I'm focusing on 3 areas, right? We're doing a wholesale. Everybody's doing wholesale. Right. We're doing a lot of rehabs, and we just started about a year and a half ago building up our rental portfolio. So those are the 3 keys.
Okay.
We base if we're gonna wholesale it or renovate it, just really based on where the deal is, how much money we can make, and what we have going on as far as rehabs. Can we handle the inflow? And if not, we just wholesale it out.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and how did you get involved with real estate investing?
I was involved with, my story. I had a mortgage bank years back, and I've always been involved with real estate.
Yeah, this wasn't just any mortgage. Bro, you had 1,200 employees at one point?
950.
950. Okay.
Yeah, 950.
Almost 1,000 employees, right? And this was a business that you actually got to close to, or did you actually hit $1 billion?
We went over $1 billion in loan volume. It was averaging at about 1,000 units a month through 04, 05, 06. And then shit hit the fan, and, stuff happened. But that taught me, it was really the foundation for getting me into this business and for propelling me to build this. Right. When I was in the mortgage industry, you had to know about real estate. I owned a title company, so I really got familiar with and understood how to cut through the title bullshit and get a deal closed quickly.
When did you own the title company? How long did you own the title company?
We opened that up. I opened up the mortgage brokerage company in 99. Then we turned into a bank in 2002. I think we opened up the title company in 2001.
Gotcha.
So I had it from 01 to 06, about 5 years. And the title company went national. It piggybacked alongside the mortgage bank.
Gotcha.
So just about every state we were licensed in as a bank, we got licensed in. If it warranted it, we got licensed in as a title company.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Pretty good.
So there's so you kind of got started from the brokerage side, doing loans. Everything kind of went to hell in a handbasket whenever the big crash hit, right? And that almost took you out. Before we talk about that, because I think that story is really interesting to relive some of that pain. Not that I'm
oh, that was painful. 10 years ago already. It's been 10 years. It's come in May. 10 years.
Right. Not that I'm sadistic, but I know that people connect a lot of times through our pain. But did you have a big influence for real estate investing, Billy?
I did. Yeah. I there was a gentleman on TV when I was a kid. I can't remember his name. Dave, the guy with the black mustache, the dark skinned guy, Dave. Oh man, he was on forever, man, when I was younger. I'm going back 35 years. And I went to one of his seminars when I was a kid. I was probably 15 years old, begged my mother, 16 years old, to take me there. And the course, Dave Lindell, no, not
Lindell.
No, Dave is
that's
the commercial
guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Dave, I can't remember his last name, man. He got busted for something. He got busted for something years later. But I remember going to that show. Okay. And of course it was free. It was a couple hours, and they tried to sell you into the 1,500. My mother thought it was a scam.
Right.
And that really got me interested in learning about the real estate. And then I went out and I started buying the books. No Money Down was one of the first books that I bought about it.
Buy the Carlton Sheets? Did you go through that?
I did. Yeah, I bought the Carlton Sheets because that was a cheap course at the time. I think it cost $149.
Right.
And so I did the Carlton Sheets, and I ended up buying a property when I was 18 going on 19 years old, my first house.
Wow.
Little to no money down. Mom and dad helped me out because they didn't want to go to college. And I ended up keeping that as a rental. And that got me started on the real estate side. And then, I bought houses, but it was never a business. I really didn't know what I was doing. I kind of was just buying them, saving up a little bit of money, and try to, either fix them up or flip them. I didn't know about wholesaling. I had no idea about that.
Right. Yeah.
but it was, listen, it was good, man. Then from there, I got into the mortgage industry, and that's when everything kind of took off from there.
Let's talk about the breaking point you had, because I think there was probably a time that you can remember that was pretty rough, that you said enough's enough, and then you had to kind of move into a different direction. Can you talk about that a little bit and what you learned through that?
Yeah, so I'm going to fast forward. After I lost the mortgage bank, it was about 3 years into it. This was July 4th, 2009, Independence Day.
And you want to talk about how you lost it, just briefly, like what happened when you lost it?
Yeah, I'll talk. Yeah. I won't get so deep into it, but I mean, we were taking the company public, and as we were ramping up, the market started dipping down, right. And we were close to doing a reverse merger, and we basically had everything done.
Right.
First round investors ended up suing. It was a big debacle. Bottom line, I ended up losing everything. Overnight, I was $14 million in debt, judgments, lawsuits. It almost, it did break me, but it almost killed me. Yeah. And it was tough. Yeah, and I went through a whole span of about 3 years of just an emotional roller coaster ride, not knowing what the hell was going to go on. I didn't know if I was going to go to the jail. I had no idea what was going on. I did nothing wrong, but
right, because when a company's that big. Yeah, you're in company with other people that might have done things wrong.
Yeah, and I know I didn't, but you just never know. It's always looming in the back of your head. Sure. And so July 4th, 2009, I was really at one of my lowest points. I had 2 or 3 really dark moments in my life in about a 6-year time frame. But I was drunk at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and my wife looked at me and she's like, you got to straighten yourself out. Like, what the hell is going on with you? What are you afraid of? And a lot was said, but it was those words, what are you afraid of, that got me thinking. And I said, holy shit, man, I really am afraid.
Wow. So you're challenged. So this is interesting, because let's see some of your pictures in the past, like being a little like almost a bouncer. You're kind of a big muscular guy and stuff. But like, I would think that people are afraid of you, right? And so this idea of you being afraid of something else almost was like this challenge, right? And you never looked at that thing as a challenge.
I think I got so beat up, Corey, with losing everything I had, and I didn't know how to start over. I literally had no money, no credit, no job. I had $14 million in a hole. I didn't know what to do. I tried doing a few other businesses after I lost Global. They all turned to mush. Like, I went from everything I touched turned to gold. Everything I touched just went to mush for years. Jeez. And so it was that when she basically called me out, put the mirror in my face and said, what the hell are you afraid of? And I started realizing I am holding myself back. That's when everything changed. And she challenged me to say, what did you always want to do? She knew it was always real estate investing. I had every reason in the world that I couldn't do it. No job, no credit, no income. How the hell am I going to do it?
Right.
And she said, hon, when you started the mortgage company, you had no experience. You had no job. You had no income. The only thing you had was credit, because you have my credit. And I looked at her and I was just like, it was at that moment, honestly, dude, at that moment, everything cleared for me.
Wow.
I instantaneously became sober because I was drinking. And my mind just became clear. And I just said, this is it. And I just have not stopped since that day, July 4th, 2009. I've been on a mission, and it's a great journey. It has not been easy.
Wow.
But I got to tell you, brother, I'm focused. Things are happening really well for me, and I'm blessed.
That's awesome, man. I'm so glad to hear that you pulled out of that funk. And it's interesting that someone else kind of served you and helped you get to that realization, right? And it's so crazy because here you are, obviously someone extremely successful, making a lot of the right decisions. And then things happen. The market is basically the vehicle you're in, and you're not in control necessarily of it. You're just driving the ship. And then you have these things happen. She comes in and speaks into your life, and you get sober like that. And then things really changed in a massive way for you. So what we like to talk about is what we call our Profit Master investing strategy. And it's something that's working well for you right now, that's just crushing it. You're doing your fix and flip, or you're doing your wholesale deals and some of your fix and flips there in New York. What's working well for you right now? What's one of your strategies that's crushing it that you can talk about?
Yeah. So I actually spoke about this to the group about 2 years ago, and I'm still crushing it with it. So we have a whole vacant house program that we put together inside here. And we didn't buy anybody else's program. This is just a process that we basically created internally.
Right.
And I got to tell you, Corey, the vacant house program for us is the highest profit deal that we have coming on. I'm talking six-figure wholesale deals.
Yeah, let's talk about just a little bit, if you wouldn't mind. What when you say highest profit? Yeah, what kind of numbers are we talking about?
Big numbers. You and I went over it before the call. I mean, we're doing not every deal. And I don't want to get this. Right. I don't want to come off thinking like every deal is like this, but 1 out of every 15 that we're doing on the wholesale side are 6-figure plus.
Oh, there's wholesale deals.
Wholesale. These are not renovations. These are buy them, flip them quick.
Nice.
Lock them up and sell them over. And of course, I never assign those types of deals, right? I'm closing on them because I don't want the guy to know who I'm flipping them to how much money I'm making. Yeah, I think so, these are all double closes.
That's a good idea. Right.
But the whole, to me, that whole vacant house piece, brother, if you focus in on it and you have a system to identify these deals, track them down, get them on the phone, lock them up, big money.
Let's talk about it. Briefly go through it. What's the vacant house program? I mean, I know some of it, but you explain it.
Yeah. So we have any list that you buy, any list that you go out there and you're going to market to your whatever the list is, you can take that list and scrub it through a system and identify every vacant house that's on that list. It basically flags it, says, hey, of your list, you have 10,000 names. These 750 names that you have on your list have been identified as vacant. So I basically parse those off the list, give it to a VA. VA goes through. She does our whole process for skip tracing them. Mm-hmm. From there, it pops into my CRM, hits over to one of my telemarketers. Basically, he's just dialing for dollars all day long. He's hitting every single number in there, but he's doing it in a way where he's really building rapport with these people over the phone. He's connecting. We already know they're motivated.
How are you compensating that guy that's on the phones?
Good question. So he's getting a small salary each week between $400 and $600, and then he's getting 10% of the net profits per deal.
Okay, net profit being the wire amount.
The wire amount, yeah. After all the fees. But the one thing I do a little bit different here that a lot of the guys I speak with don't do is we do take the overhead allocation for the office, less any money that I take out each month, and we do a cost per deal for the overhead to cover it. So, if, for instance, if it takes us $5,500 per deal to run the company, if we're doing 15 deals a month at $75,000 to run the company, right, we're taking $5,500 off each deal off the top. So if we have a $50,000 fee,
gotcha. So that goes right off the top immediately.
Right off the top to cover the overhead. Yeah,
gotcha. That's cool. And then from there, obviously, there's got to. Only way you can do that is if there's enough spread. What if there's not enough spread from it? You just let it roll to the next deal.
No, what I'll do then is I just do a small percentage. So I'll do like 25% off the top to cover overhead.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. So what company, or do you use like Black Book data, or what do you use to scrub for those vacants?
So we're using TLO to scrub for the vacants.
Yep.
Yeah. And we have another company, which is a backup because sometimes TLO goes down. It's a little tricky, but it's, listen, man, it's working well, and we're knocking it out of the ballpark.
Right. Yeah. So you're scrubbing it so that it goes to telemarketers. They're dying for dollars all day. And these are how many out of that? How many, like out of a 10,000, how many will be vacant?
It really depends. Depends on the area. Yeah. Like the last list that we pulled, we had, we uploaded 683 vacants.
Out of how big was the list?
That was 11,250.
Yeah. So really then about 5%, give or take.
Roughly.
Yeah.
But I've had some where I've run them through and it was real low. I've only pulled out like 200 and something. So it really depends on the areas we're hitting, because there's certain areas on Long Island that have a larger population of vacants.
Okay.
It's usually in the lower income areas when we're hitting those types of areas we're going. There's always more vacants in those areas.
And how are you getting in touch with those people? Like, are you calling them obviously how are you mailing them a letter? Are you using the tax record to get in touch? How do you get in touch with those people? Are you skip tracing? What are you doing with them?
So we're skip tracing them.
Yep.
Through the skip trace, then we're doing a couple of things. We're doing a lot of things actually. We're taking every single phone number. We're calling every phone number.
Right.
We're taking every email address that comes in. We're doing an email blast out to them. So if they have 15 email addresses on file, they're getting a blast out with every single email address. If we have a valid where they live now address, we're doing a direct mail campaign to their particular house. And if they're local and we see that it's a really hot deal,
right,
I'll send a door knocker over to their new house and knock on the door.
Nice.
Nice.
I mean, basically go after, it's like blitzkrieg. It's blitzkrieg on these vacant leads.
You have to.
I got you.
You have to, and it's making us buku money.
Did you say a have to instead of have to?
Yeah.
I love it. New York. You have to.
That's it.
Pizza pie. All right.
That's it.
So that's killer. And I think that some people got a few little ideas right there on what you're talking about, because maybe their wholesale deals aren't six figures, but my gosh, if this is your highest profit per deal, I would suspect that it's similar to that in other areas. And our highest profit per deal is probates, right? Which has a similar component to it. So are you doing any probate deals?
We are.
And are those pretty high profits deal for you?
They're good, but they're not super high here. I think that list is being killed by everybody in my market.
You're probably right. Yeah, probably right.
Because it's very easy to get that list in New York. You can buy it. And, you could build it. It's a little bit more difficult if you build it, but it's available. You can buy it online.
Right. Yeah. Well, what's the single greatest lesson that you've learned so far to help you get to where you are today?
Never to quit and start now. If I can say, to me, never quitting and starting now they go hand in hand, because I waited 3 years after I lost Global to get into this real estate business. And I wish I would have started it as soon as I lost Global, because I would be 3 years ahead of where I am now.
Right.
You got to start now. You have to start now. Wherever they're at, whoever's listening to this podcast, if they're a newbie and they're a little afraid to get started, you're going to fail. It's inevitable. You're going to trip. You're going to fall. Pick yourself up quick and start now. Get yourself going again. Start now.
I love it, man. And there's no time like the present, right? To get going, and we tend to not start now because of fear. Ultimately, call it whatever you want, but it's something holding you back, and usually that something is a fear.
Is fear.
Yeah. So that's good, man. Well, if you had to start all over, what would you change? What's some advice for new people getting involved?
So what would I change starting over? I think if I was to start over, I would start with wholesale. Okay. When I started doing this business, I actually got into the rehab side first.
Right.
And, after losing everything and buying properties and renovating them, I did a few wholesale, but I would have really honed in and focused on wholesale first to build up those cash reserves quickly. And then I would have got into the rehab side.
I think people don't realize this too. And I know that it sounds like, everyone should know this because we listen to webinars and books and tapes and CDs, but really explaining what wholesaling is something. We have a program right now, of course, called How to Flip Contracts, Not Houses. And I was shocked by how many people are like, oh, you mean on wholesaling, you don't have to have any money? You're not closing on the deal, right? And so when you're assigning the deal, you're just assigning the piece of contract. When you're actually going and double closing, you're double closing on the deal. But the reality is that those are cash transactions, right? For most people, they're not getting a loan, and you're using the funds that they're paying you for the property, right, to pay for your A to B closing.
Yep.
And people still don't really understand that. They think I have to have money, I have to have a private lender, I have to have all. No, you don't. Right. It's just amazing to me. The risk is so much less. You're going to have risk in anything you a part of.
It's a lot lower, though.
A lot lower.
It is a lot lower. And, people just don't know what they don't know. They don't realize that you can really get into this game with very little to no money.
Right.
If you have no money, but you have the sales experience, partner up with somebody who has some cash, have them do a little bit of marketing, split the profits. Corey, it's all about thinking outside the box and being creative.
Being resourceful. Right.
Being resourceful is number one. Yeah, no doubt.
Being resourceful for sure. Okay. So what's one of your favorite motivational or business quotes?
Jesus. I think for me and this resonates with me, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. It matters that you get back up. Right. And that's like the story of my life. You get knocked down, you have to get back up. You have to be resilient. You got to bounce. The harder you fall, the harder you have to bounce back up, the faster you have to bounce back up. You can't lay there.
Right.
So, that quote to me, it resonates because that's, I've been knocked down a lot. And if I didn't get up, if I would have just settled and just said, I'm just going to get a regular job and be a regular person, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah, man. Be resilient. I love that. That's great. What books do you recommend, Billy? What's one that's really changed your perspective or changed your life?
Somebody asked me this a while ago, and my uncle gave me a book when I think I was between 13 and 15. I can't remember the exact age, but changed my life about the way I was thinking. And it was from James Allen, small book, As a Man Thinketh.
Right.
Tiny, little, quick read, easy read.
Yeah.
Tiny. But that book, just the words in it, like I've read that book, I don't know, 50, 60, 100 times maybe. And as a kid reading that, my mother thought he was trying to brainwash me, by the way. She's like, what are you reading? This is ridiculous. And something clicked. And it was at such a young age reading that it just got into my head about how your mind operates and how you think, that you could actually change your future. You could pull yourself into exactly where you want to go. And I learned that from a young age.
That's powerful.
It is powerful. Very, extremely powerful. So I'd say, for me, that book was the foundation. And it was the book that kickstarted me into everything that I'm doing now.
That's powerful, man. And that's a great book. And you can read it so fast.
Yeah. Half an hour, maybe.
Yeah. Really, really, really quick. And it's usually like to make it look cooler, you put it like in a little hardback. It's like a little hardback book.
Yeah.
You can get it on Amazon. I'll put that in the show. I'll put all this in the show notes, by the way. So anything that we're talking about will all be there. I'll put the books, I'll put the quotes, put everything in there just for you and for our listeners. Do you have a mobile app that you use on a consistent basis every day for your business?
I do. I actually have one that's very specific to my business because of the CRM that I utilize. So all my guys inside here on the acquisition side and on the liquidation side, we use an app called Fix Your Funnel. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Works with Infusion, which is what you're still using.
Automatically connects because I'm an Infusion guy. I know you guys are on Podio.
That's all right.
But I absolutely love Infusion. I love Fix Your Funnel. And that app, for us, it's an automatic app that we can text in and text out. Automatically connects to the CRM. We can do a blast out from the phone, and we can blast out to, if we want to sell a property. I sold the property over the summer when I was on a boat. One of my guys locked it up. I was on Kevin's boat. I said, holy shit, we got the deal in. I did a text blast off my phone to 2,200 people. Within 2 hours, I had that deal sold.
Wow.
Like to me, it's a phenomenal app.
I love that. Yeah. And it works with Infusionsoft. And that's what you primarily use it for. But you also have the texting that works inside of Infusionsoft too. So it's all integrated.
All integrated, all wrapped up. Yeah.
Right. Infusionsoft is a CRM that either you love it or you hate it. And Billy's invested a lot of time and energy and money into it. And so sometimes I think you love it and sometimes you hate it, but you're dealing with it.
Yeah, I'm going with it. I'm so far in, I'm so deep, I'm not changing.
Hey, listen, it's working for you right now, obviously.
It is.
So
it's making us some money.
It's making you some money, right? So would you have I know you're a pretty disciplined type of person. Whenever I've seen all the pills that you take to be healthy and regimented.
Yeah, let's make sure you tell them what kind of pills.
What kind of pills? Regimented, healthy pills, right? And it takes discipline to be able to do that on a consistent basis. What's your morning routine look like? I know you go to the gym like every day, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So I'm usually up between 4:30 and 5 o'clock without an alarm clock. My body I just wake up.
Wow.
So for about a half an hour, I just chill out. I'll have a cup of coffee, cup of tea. I just kind of relax for the first half an hour.
It's just in your house and you're just chilling?
In my house, yeah. So, I'm a German Shepherd guy, myself and my wife. We have a couple of German Shepherds. Everybody at that hour is sleeping, right? I have the house to myself.
Right.
So 5:30, I'm having the coffee. I usually meditate for 20 minutes early in the morning. I do TM. So I'll do that for about 20 minutes and I take the dogs out for a walk. And then by 6 o'clock, I'm at the gym and I'm either doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do CrossFit. Tuesday, Thursday, I do like a cardio kickboxing type thing.
Wow.
Just straight up. It's really good. And then Saturday and Sunday, I'll either do nothing, go for a walk, but I don't go to the gym on Saturday. I try not to go to the gym on Saturday or Sunday. And then I'm usually back by the house by, 7:15, 7:30. I pop my pills and eat some egg whites. I get my meals prepared. So I buy my meals once a week, which saves me a lot of time.
That's great.
All my meals are, they're all cooked, all healthy, all gluten-free, 5 meals a day, 5 days a week. It's cool.
It's got to be gluten-free, right? Because you're allergic to gluten.
Yeah, we don't want to go down that road. Ask Drew Hitt about that. The gluten thing is not good. So that's basically my morning. And I have this energy. So I'm going until 11, 12 o'clock at night. I sleep maybe 5 to 6 hours a night tops.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And that's what you like. And that's what you run on.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the way I'm like wired. I wasn't always like this. It's once I started getting really healthy the last 6 years, I just made my mind up, and it was 2010. I was turning 40 years old.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to make a lot of life changes. That's 2009 is when I decided to get into this business. I started focusing, and every year since then, and now it's almost every 6 months, I'm either adding something, taking something away that's negative in my life, or I'm adding something positive into my life.
That's great.
So within the last 6 months, I just wanted to see if I just want to stop drinking. Not really a heavy drinker, but I just wanted to say, let me stop drinking for a month, see how I feel. 1 month turned into 4. Then 6 months ago, I started going to a hypnotherapist. And once a week, I go to her for a bunch of different things. And I could just see how this is working on me with everything.
Wow.
I started the TM about 3 months ago. So I went to a class for that for a week, added that into my life. And it's just every 6 months to a year, to me, you have to add or take something away to get yourself to the next level.
So all these things are adding for the purpose of clarity?
Yeah. Balance, I think more clarity on the mind. Like I take a lot of stuff from my mind to get clear and just be focused. And I do the TM for balance, and I do the hypnotherapy for balance. So it's mind, body, spirit, money, relationships. I'm really trying to balance myself differently this time around in my life versus when I had the mortgage company. Because Corey, the first time I met you guys and I went on stage and I started talking, the mortgage company almost killed me.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to go down that road again.
Right.
If I'm going to do this in my life and I'm going to be happy building this business, I need to make sure everything else in my life is well-rounded.
Are you still golfing on Fridays?
I haven't done that because the weather's been shitty, but yeah, I'm golfing.
I just remember we'll talk about that story just a little bit. I know that. So you don't get 8 hours a day. You prefer to get 5 to 6.
Yeah, I work like that, and then on the weekends I'll crash a little bit. And the weekends I might sleep like 8 hours.
I got you. Okay.
During the week, no, I can't do it.
What are you most grateful for?
Life. I am most grateful to be here.
I love that, dude. And thank God you are, man, because like I said, everybody goes through like challenges, right? And we've had these talks, and like you said, it's almost killed you. This almost killed you. And it's not, we're not alone. There's so much pressure. I was just talking about this the other day. That one of my mentors in life, Billy, came to me when I was going through a massive divorce, and I looked. I was just defeated, dude. I was just you ever see somebody's face and they just look down and they're defeated. Yeah. That was me. I was defeated, and he said, "Why don't you put the hammer down?" I said, "What hammer?" He said, "The hammer you keep hitting yourself over the head with."
Wow.
And dude, it was like, remember you were talking about that clarity moment with your gal, your wife? I was like, I am beating the crap out of myself every day, right? And I think entrepreneurs don't just use a hammer; we use a sledgehammer. Yeah.
If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right.
We're gonna do it right, right? And so the funny thing is, yeah, man. So when you say that, you're so grateful for life, man. I know that where that's coming from, because at some point, there's these things that we tell ourselves, these stories. We were talking about this before this interview. Tony Robbins talks about the 3 S's, which the first thing is a strategy. You have to have a strategy to make change in your life, but you also have a story, and there's a story you're telling yourself, and this story over and over again of why you're not be able to get a breakthrough. And then from that, after you get the right story and you're telling yourself the right story, then the state of mind, which is the mindset. So those are the 3 S's. You have to have a great strategy, but if your strategy is good and you keep telling yourself the same old story, the strategy doesn't matter, right? And you never get to that state of mind that you need to have in order to have the breakthrough. So I'm so grateful that you had that breakthrough, bro. I'm so grateful you say you're grateful for life.
I appreciate that, dude, because I am. That comes right from the heart.
I know it does. What point would you recommend on working with a coach or mentor? How important has that been in your success?
Oh, well, for me, it's everything. So I think if you're going to get into this business or anything you're going to do in life, why recreate the wheel? I wish I would have gotten coaching earlier on when I was younger,
Right.
and I didn't. And sometimes it's the money aspect that holds people back. But if I can go back and speak to the younger me, and I would tell myself immediately, get a coach, somebody who's has a proven method, who's done it. Hook up with them immediately. And like I'm doing it now in all areas of my life. Like I'm going to the gym, but now I'm going to a guy who's CrossFit expert. He's the guy who's getting me in shape. Right. And I can see in every area that I'm hitting a coach, physically, mentally, spiritually, business, every area that I'm hitting, everything is growing. So to me, it makes sense. If you can afford it, go for it. Make sure you're clear on what you want. Get the right person, but do it sooner rather than later. Like I said earlier, start now. I would start with that now. I wouldn't wait. I'd start now.
Yeah, that's incredibly. I think a lot of truth to that. I think a lot of people get where they want to go faster. If you look at, it's the same story over and over again. When people come on and they talk about how important a coach has been, there's only been like one person I can think of that really didn't get a lot of mentoring, but even said that he would have got there faster if he would have. But it's been so important. And if you look at all of the top athletes in the world, the Tiger Woods of the world, or, the Jordan Spieths or the whatever, man. Jordan's,
it's
they
across
all had
the board, Corey.
Incredible success because their coach pushed them and gave them a different perspective. The funny thing is about a coach is that the coach may not be smarter than you are in one area, but they have an absolute different perspective than you do because they're not engaged emotionally and they're not in the mix and the minutia of all the decisions. We go through decision fatigue. And so often whenever we get a coach, they don't have all of those other decisions and everything else that's involved. And so they can see a clear piece of paper, bro. It's almost like this, right? Look, you see all this? This is from, bro. This is from people that aren't seeing the video right now. I'm showing a Sirius XM, all these stations on this piece of paper, right? All these stations, right? And a coach can come in, bro, and this is how we see our life, right? And a coach can come in and see this.
Yeah, clear.
That's what they see.
Yep.
They see nothing because you're telling them the things that's going on. You're telling them everything, and they're putting the pieces together. So it's so incredibly powerful. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, it's important. It's an important part of. I think it should be incorporated into everybody's life. Whatever you're going to do, get somebody to hold you accountable. Get somebody who's going to really motivate you, inspire you, and just keep you on the right path. Because to me, it's been everything. The real estate investing side, the body side, the mind side, everything is about coaching.
I see. I'll make a prediction, dude. I see you being a coach one day. I see you doing some of that, dude. I think you're a very influential person.
I appreciate that.
You're a freaking great leader. When you talk, I feel it, dude. You're one of my favorite speakers from CG.
Cool, brother.
And I feel it, dude. So I think you're going to use that in some aspect of your life. If you had to summarize it, Billy, why do you do what you do?
It's fun, baby. I have time? This is not work. So I enjoy building the business, and it's really, I know it's cliche, but it gives me the freedom to do, have, and become whatever I want.
Right.
And so this business is really the vehicle, and it's lucrative. It's fun. I meet new people every day. I have a great staff. I couldn't do what I'm doing without the people around me. It's really my brain power put this together, but they're executing the plan.
Right.
I got great people on the team. And, I do this because it's a good time, and I'm doing this to leave a legacy. I want to build. I don't have kids. So I want to build this, and I want to be able to leave it to my nieces, to my nephews. And I want to leave something when I'm far gone.
Right.
I want to leave a piece of me that's going to be here when I'm not.
Legacy. I like that, man. That's cool.
Yeah, brother.
Well, what's the way that we can serve you, dude? What's the way that my listeners can contact you, and what do you need assistance with right now? How can we serve you?
Yeah. So serving me, man, I think just by coming on and speaking with you today was just having conversation with you. You know, man, you and I get along great.
Yeah.
I mean, that part of it is awesome. I don't know how your students can serve me, but if they need my help for anything, if they want to reach out, they can find me on Facebook. It's Facebook.com/Billy Alvaro. Same thing with LinkedIn.
My last name is I'll put the link there, but it's Alvaro, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Billy Alvaro. And then you can go to the website, maxreturns.com. That's the real estate investment website.
Right.
Any way I can help them out. If they're in New York, New Jersey, tri-state area, if they're nationwide, they just want to pick my brain, whatever. If I have some time, I'd be more than happy to spend a little bit of time with them.
Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you might not. Yeah. You might take that last part back.
I am not giving my cell phone number out.
From the guy that you email and says, I'm not in the office.
Yeah. But you've got those email responses.
Yeah, you got it down, man. In order to focus and do that at the level you're playing right now, you gotta have that focus in there. So yeah, that's killer, man. Well, I'm excited about your success. I'm excited about your story. I'm excited about your. Yeah, I use this word more because it's such a powerful word, bro. It's called efficacy. And it really has nothing to do with how you feel, but has everything to do with what you're capable of doing and becoming. And almost like the better version of yourself and the best thing that you can do and how you can serve, almost like the optimum of everything in your life, dude. I'm excited about your efficacy, dude.
Awesome.
So I think that's killer, man.
Awesome, brother. Corey, you've been a blast hanging out with, as usual.
Yeah.
Always full of energy. Thank you so much, brother, for your time.
Sure. All right. Well, thanks again for being on here. Make sure that you're on our next Real Estate Investing Profit Master podcast series. We're going to bring on incredible guests just like Billy. All right. Talk to you later. Thanks again, Billy.
Peace out, bro.
Remember, be a servant. Bye now.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Corey Boatwright, and I have a quick question for you. What is the fastest way to reach your goals? Is it to work harder, work smarter, use system and processes, or hire rock star employees? What about just making more money? Actually, it's none of that. Those things are a byproduct of the one success component that every real estate investor or business owner that I know all have in common. And the answer is clarity. Complete laser focus on what you want, why you want it, and what are you willing to do to get it? So where do you find clarity? By hiring a coach and mentor. Now, could you reach the level of success that you want to achieve by doing this all on your own? The Lone Ranger. Well, maybe, but do you think it would take you double or even triple the time to achieve it compared to hiring a coach and mentor to help guide your path, provide proven instruction with a tailored blueprint that you could follow for building a real estate business that supports your lifestyle and helps you reach your financial and personal goals? Absolutely. Here's the fact. Time isn't recyclable. So I would like to ask you to make good use of it and extend a personal invitation for you to book a phone coaching strategy session by going to callwithcorey.com. That's callwithcorey, Corey spelled CORY.com. I'm going to ask you a few quick questions on that page, and we're going to go over and see how we can make sure that your business is on path to reach the goals that you want this year. So go to callwithcorey.com, that's CORY, and book your phone coaching strategy session today. Remember, be a servant, and I'll see you on there.
You've been listening to another Real Estate Investing Profits Master podcast series. To receive your free real estate book, Down and Dirty, Ultimate Real Estate Investing Quick Start Guide, how to quit your job to start flipping houses in 90 days or less, head online and go to realestateinvestingprofits.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Real Estate Investing Profits. Thanks again for listening, and stay tuned for our next episode.